Good morning, it's Jonathan Barratt with the morning debrief for Monday, the 6th of September. The current time is 7:50. Rightio, okay, let's get our minds firmly on track for this week. Relatively quiet week, but some very important data due out. And but before we get into that, let's have a look pretty much at what happened on Friday night, just to get us into the mood. Okay, just coming up, let's just grab that now. Okay, just a quick overview. What's the most important thing there? The Dow in itself had a relatively okay night, which was quite positive. It continued its winning trick. Sorry, let's just move that out of the way. Dow was up 127 points, 10,447. S&P was up 14. The Nasdaq was up 33. The Stoic was up 31, the FTSE was up 57, the CAC was up 40, and the DAC, as you can see, was up 50 as well. So that's pretty positive in itself. Having a look at the Aussie market closed quite nicely, up 50 points at 4,587. So it looks like that optimism is going to continue with us for some time. Hopefully we'll see it continue. We've got quite a bit of data out this week, and hopefully that will just reinforce the positive sentiment that we have. We still feel that there's two speeds of world economy, what's happening in Asia and obviously what's happening in America and Europe. So when you look at both of those, I think it's quite important that we try to analyse how our market will be affected. But let's have a look at a few of the other things, other markets which we traditionally look at. Start off with the currencies. Looking at the dollar index, as you can see, it's dollar's come back into a little bit of weakness here, and there's the daily chart, and this is all corrective in this move, and probably expected to come back a little bit more. A normal Fibonacci retracement number would probably say that we've pretty much reached the lower end of the range, if in fact we're going to remain relatively positive for the US dollar. But as you can see on the back of that, the Aussie's done pretty well, 91.58, and that's looking above that trend line here. And if it does take out that old high 91.70, or even up to 92.30, then we're onwards and upwards back up to that 94. So let's just see how that unfolds. The euro, 128.86, right at the lower end of its range there. And I think a lot of people are actually thinking that that euro can actually start to firm from here. As you can see, perhaps a low-risk trade opportunity there. Stops have to be below those areas there, but when you look at the big picture, it's at the lower end of the range, and only if it broke through 126.20 would you be concerned of any trade. Okay, dollar yen, 84.31. It's amazing this currency, just the yen is so firm. And when you look at the state of the economy, it really shouldn't be. But as in all, we've got a double bottom down here, and some very good divergence here as well. To see whether that divergence is true, we really need to see it tip up over the next couple of days. But let's see what happens on that front. Have a look at some of the other commodities. Crude oil, 74.26. A lot of data out, like we do most weeks, gives us a fair idea as to what is happening. And as you can see, it's still pretty much in its range, so not doing too much exciting stuff there. Have a look at gold. Gold, 12.46. It's a bit of a worry up here, I must admit, when you look at it. You know, it's up around these levels here, and I guess if it breaks to that 12.62, 65, it's a worry. But at the moment, it looks like it's ready to fall to the bottom side. And I'm actually thinking of putting a short position on there. So, but stay close to the Twitter there to see what happens when in fact we do that. Okay, having a quick look at some of the softs. Everyone knows we're in soybeans. Soybeans had a very strong move on the weekend, so I was quite happy about that. And expectations remain relatively positive. 10.40 is an area which we're going to keep an eye on. And if it breaks through that, well then onwards and upwards to that 1200 level. So that's 10.40, a break of that one, and I see it going a lot higher. Just look at this chart though. As you can see, this all looks quite good, and if what we're thinking is correct, then it was a low-risk opportunity there. I stopped through it at 9.95, and we're looking for it to trade higher from here. So quite happy there. Having a quick look at the equity markets now. And I think a lot of people are quite more optimistic as to what's happening there with equities. So I think if anything there, we've got to be optimistic again today, and expectations are for the market to continue to trade higher. There it is there, takes out those ones there, that high there, and which it has done. So I'd actually see it trade back to that top side. So let's see what goes on from there. In terms of economic calendars, what have we got out this week that's going to move and shake the market? Let's just get back, start from Monday. But most importantly, I guess today in Australia we've got TD securities inflation. See what happens there in terms of whether or not the RBA will act on Tuesday, when the RBA has its traditional meeting. Remember, that's the first Tuesday of every month. We're expecting no change there in interest rates. Okay, expect everything to remain the same. Not too much else of importance except for ABC consumer confidence in America. We've got a lot of data out of Japan this week, so keep close to it. Leading machinery orders, trade balance, all very important for Japan. Give us a sense as to how that economy really is moving. I think that's pretty key. Wednesday we've got IP and MP out of the UK. Very important there. Also out of Germany, so very important there to see how Europe's actually kicking along. In the US we've got the Fed's Beige Book. So be very close to that as to see how the people are perceiving and holding up, and also consumer credit, which I think is obviously we need to see that pick up a little bit. Thursday, unemployment rates in Australia, pretty important there. So let's see what happens on that front. And obviously UK change of interest rates there, see what happens on there as well. Okay, and also Japan, last but not least, in Japan we've got GDP. Well, that's about it from us today. It's going to be a cracking week. Some good opportunities. Keep an eye on our soybean trade. Keep an eye on dollar yen. Keep an eye on gold, because I think there's an opportunity somewhere there. But let's see how we track. Have a good week. We'll certainly talk to you each day. Remember, stay tuned to our Twitters, and also stay tuned to Facebook for any news that we put out, and obviously any of our YouTube stuff. That's about it from me. Have a great day. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.